Now, the news cycle this week has been dominated by the revelations that former Prime Minister Scott Morrison secretly, at the height of the COVID pandemic, appointed himself to 5 ministerial positions. Overnight, the former PM has seen the funny side. We've shown you some of those memes, but there's far more serious stuff to discuss. Joining me now is John Roskam from the Institute of Public Affairs. John, welcome to the program. We're 3 months on from election and the Liberals still seem to be finding their feet in opposition. Are they ready yet to take on the fight to the left? Have they finally realised that Conservatives have to be conservative if they want to get elected? They can't be Labor light?
There's no indication yet, Rita. There's no indication the coalition is going to dump net zero. There's no indication the coalition is going to speak up for racial equality and say no to the voice. And I, like so many Australians, have just been dumbstruck, bemused, amazed, been made incredulous at the events of the last few days. And I didn't think it could get any worse until Scott Morrison decides to make a joke out of locking up people, out of missed cancer screenings, out of the death and divorce and the unemployment that lockdowns caused. This is not a laughing matter. The idea that he would trash democracy for his own power trip, again, as a lifelong Liberal, absolutely astounds me. I'm astounded that any Liberal would defend anything Morrison has done in this regard. And then a couple of Liberals today decide that it's all a joke. And when you talk to Liberal MPs, privately, they're seething, they're furious, they're angry, but they're saying, no, we can't be seen to join the pile-on of Albanese and Albanese and Turnbull and the Greens. Well, just because Turnbull and Albanese say it doesn't mean it's wrong. I mean, I think we've just seen over the last week how the Liberals have got no idea what's happened to them and no idea how to change.
Well, they need to have some values that are unshakable and not just bend with the wind. And brings me to Peter Dutton. It's early days, but he has so far failed to really oppose the race-based referendum. That seems like a major, major misstep.
Well, it's an opportunity to not just stand for principle, but to speak for all Australians and say we are not going to be divided by our race or our identity. And Peter Dutton has said he is going to wait for the details from the government. Now, what concerns me and so many people about that is it implies that there is some formulation of racial division that Peter Dutton and the coalition might accept. As we've spoken about, Rita, previously, there are still too many voices in the Liberal Party who think we should be divided according to our ethnicity, that we should permanently put this into the Constitution. And Peter Dutton has an opportunity to draw a line under the years of Turnbull, a line under the years of Morrison, and appeal to all Australians. And I'm not sure what he's waiting for.
Absolutely. The Liberal Party of John Howard and Tony Abbott would be nice to see again. And seems a big part of the problem here is the shadow Indigenous Affairs Minister who is pro this race-based referendum. And in fact, he's worried that the lack of detail Labor is putting forward might compromise it and might see it not succeed.
Well, that's right, Rita. And what I find astonishing is so many high-profile lawyers and judges saying, don't worry about the detail. Well, I'm sure when they were in private practice advising their clients, they never said, sign a contract, but don't read it. The Australian people are being taken for mugs, and the Australian people are not being trusted. And the Australian people deserve to know how this is going to work.
Absolutely.
In addition to the fact that I am one of those who says, regardless of the details, this is wrong in principle and philosophy.
Absolutely right there, John Roskam.